Hey guys, so I'm gonna give people time to hop on. Hopefully y'all have your notifications on, you can catch it. And then I will get started. Okay, so if you watched my weigh-in video this morning, I did lose 2.4 pounds this week. And while I was doing my video, I decided, what would be really cool is to give back in a way that's kind of different that not everybody does. So we decided to go down and buy groceries for the amount of weight that I've lost. We decided to just do it at 75 pounds because I would have normally done it like the first 25 and then 50 and then do it at 100 and then every 50 after. Hey, how are you? And so I normally would have done it like at 25, 50, and then 100 and then every 50. And so I figured 75 was a good start off. I think we might have gone a little bit over, but I'm a little over on my weight loss, so it's all good, right? So I'm going to show you guys what we got on our grocery haul. My husband's trying to take off. You're my assistant, man. Come help. I couldn't find everything I wanted to get. I wanted to get some of the milk you can just keep in your cupboard. The stuff doesn't have to be in the fridge. And I wanted to get canned juice. And the grocery store I went to had none of that. And so we kind of got what we could, stuff that we know people would use. Some stuff we got multiples of, just because we figured there's probably multiple families looking for that. The first thing we got was chili beans. Those are really easy, good for protein. And these do have a pull top. We tried to find as many cans with a pull top in case there are homeless people who don't have access to a can opener. But we couldn't find a whole lot of pull top cans, unfortunately. But we did get chili beans. How many chili beans did we get? 3. 3 cans of chili beans. He thinks. Ooh. And then we got some tomato sauce. And that one, we got 4 of these because they were on sale. And then we got some cream mushroom soup. I know I use this in a lot of stuff, so I figure other people must too. So I grabbed 2 of these, so we would have these for people who want to like make something, or if they just like cream mushroom soup. I can't imagine eating it straight. Like for me, that would be gross. But there's a lot of recipes for casseroles and stuff that are really inexpensive to make, and cream mushroom soup is like a major mainstay for those. And then we got a can of baked beans. This is a really good brand of these. Even though it's like the cheaper one, it's seasoned with brown sugar and bacon, and this one's amazing. We got 4 cans of chili beans. Okay. And then we got a thing again with a pull top of mandarin oranges, especially with kids being home from school. This is a great little snack. And if they have the pull top, they can, depending on their age, maybe open it themselves if they need to. We got 3 of those. I honestly could not believe how full the thing was. We also got some cream of chicken soup. This is the Campbell's one. And we got 2 of these? Yeah. 2 of those. And their pull top as well. So we tried to find as many pull tops as we could. I know one article I read today had said something to the effect of that sometimes the pull tops are better. And here's chicken noodle soup, and that's also got a pull top. Ooh, sorry, I hit my laptop. And I also got some chicken broth. I did. And I got chicken broth because I use this I use broth to even if I just make potatoes, like moisten potatoes. You can use it to make your own soup. You can use it to cook noodles in. Like broth is like such a useful thing. So we did get some chicken broth. We got 2 of these. And then we got 4 cans of whole potatoes. Again, with the chicken broth. Someone can do whole potatoes and chicken broth, make themselves some soup. Or they can just have the whole potatoes as a side with dinner. We got 4 cans of that. And then we got refried beans. We do have a very decent Hispanic community here. So we did grab 2 cans of refried beans. But even if you're not Hispanic, a lot of people still like refried beans. So we figured why not grab some of that. And then we got 2 things of cinnamon applesauce, especially with kids being home from school, or I don't know. I personally love applesauce too. And the nice thing is this one's only 70 calories for a half cup, so it is healthy. Not everything we got was healthy. We tried to get as healthy as we could on stuff. We did get 2 of these things of applesauce for the food pantry. Yeah, you show me this. Give me one of those. And then is this what 2 of these ones? Big ones? Just one. And we also got one of these big family-sized cream mushroom soups in case someone just seriously just really likes cream mushroom soup, or if they have like a big family and they want to do a larger casserole. And then because kids are going to be home from school, we have little beef stews that would be perfect for kid size, and they have the pull tab. So these would be great. They just pop it in, throw it in the microwave. Easy lunch for a kid in the summertime. There's so much food here, y'all. I was literally like dying when I saw the cart. We got 2 boxes of chicken stovetop. I love stovetop, like as a side, especially around the holidays and stuff, but sometimes it's just nice to have. And because it's microwavable and it's easy to make, it's great for a kid too. So we grabbed 2 boxes of stovetop. My husband's slacking over here, y'all. Now, one of the things that I noticed too, I mean, obviously some people who go to food kitchens or soup kitchens or food pantries have babies. So we did grab 4 things of baby food. We got 2 apple and 2 peach. And we did get something else baby too. We'll get to it at some point. I'm sure it's in one of these bags. We originally went to the store and since we were running late, we actually stopped at Walmart real quick and grabbed a rotisserie chicken because it's kind of like the healthiest fast food you can get. And we got all the way home and opened it up to have dinner real quick before I went live, only to have it red inside where it shouldn't be. And so my husband had to run it back real quick and let them know, hey, you need to check your chickens because they're not cooked. So he returned that and he literally just walked the door before I went live. So we also grabbed the Gerber oatmeal for babies for the food pantry because again, some people have babies and babies need, stuff to keep them healthy too. I don't know, a lot of people think of picking up baby stuff, so we did grab 2 boxes of instant mashed potatoes. I know when I was a single mom, this was kind of like the best thing. It's just dehydrated potatoes, so it's not really bad for you. But this was like a mainstay when I was a single mom. These mashed potatoes, super, super important. Now I live in Alabama, so of course I had to grab some hush puppy mix because this is just add water, so it's something they can do very easily. And it goes great with pretty much any meal, so it's a nice little bread side. So we did grab 2 of those. And then we grabbed 2. This is like my favorite one. This is like the mashed potatoes, but it has like butter and herb in it. And we got 2 of these boxes so they can make some mashed potatoes. And we got a total of 4 of these different meals. They're Larry the Cable Guy instant meals, kind of like hamburger helper type things. These are actually a really good brand. If you have these, try them out. Yeah. Yeah, there's a cheeseburger and a lasagna. And so we got 4 of these total, 2 of each. And that's something if they get some ground beef, they can just. And a lot of the pantries down here will get donations from hunters, so they'll have a lot of deer meat and freeze. So they usually have something like that there too. And I got boil and bag instant brown rice, so healthy option for rice. And I like the fact since it's boil and bag, if somebody's not real sure on how to cook, rice, because I know before I got my rice cooker years ago, rice was always an issue for me to cook. I always either put not enough water and it would be dry and like crunchy, or I put too much water and it would just be like soppy and soggy. It was gross. So I thought the boil and bag was probably a good option. Plus it's something also like a teenager, 10, 11, 12 could do. So we grabbed 2 of these, and of course brown rice, super healthy, better than the white rice. And this is also gluten-free too. I did try to see if I could grab some stuff that had, gluten-free since I have the GMO sensitivity and stuff. And then we grabbed 2 packages of granola bars. Again, kids being home from school, I am down by Daphne, so towards the water, almost on the beach. I'm a little bit east of Daphne. Yeah, a little bit east of Daphne. So I beach it whenever I can, but I really haven't been in a while. And then we got what, 3, 4 of these? We got 3 things of spaghetti and they're pot ready. And what I like about these is I'm always breaking mine in half. So this is kind of cool because they're already broken, so it makes it easier to eat. What's Warrior near? We've only lived here for 4 years. My husband's from Illinois. I'm originally from Connecticut. And we also got, now I know on my thing earlier I talked about this, but we got salt because, okay, yep. We got some salt. We got 2 things of salt. We got 2 things of pepper. That's things people don't think to donate, but people, you need that. And I know when I was a single mom and I had to go to the food pantries and stuff like salt and pepper, I didn't have the money for, but it also was never there for me to grab. So I also grabbed some poultry seasoning. And we got soul food seasoning. Nope. And Cajun seasoning. I know down around here we have a lot of different backgrounds of people. So I kind of tried to grab a seasoning that would go for every different background that's like in this area. The only thing I really didn't get was our Asian population, but there's really not that much of it. It's more towards the casinos. I got some Italian seasoning. Yeah, I am really close to I-65. Like I can almost spit on it. Well, not literally, but I got some fish seasoning because a lot of people around here fish. So if there's somebody who's low on money, they might go fishing. So fish seasoning and some seasoned salt because I used to use this stuff on everything. Not so much now, but back in the day. And then we got 4 cans of whole kernel corn. And this is actually a really good corn. It's nice and juicy and crisp all at the same time. And then we grabbed some sugar because you never know when you're going to need sugar. And then per your thing, yeah, we're lucky that we're far enough away because we're kind of in a rural area that we don't hear 65 very much. So I don't think we really hear it at all. But our town kind of rolls up the sidewalks at night. It's like seriously a small town. Like I could go out my front yard and hear nothing at all. It's just crazy. And then we got coffee, and we got this kind because it's easier for them to put onto a shelf that's hard. And it was the same size and price as like the jar that was a lot bigger. So we grabbed coffee. And then we got 4 cans of tuna and water. And I'm kind of a freak about tuna fish. I won't get it in oil. I only buy it in water. So we did get 4 things of tuna and water. I already showed tomato sauce. We did get a total of 4 tomato sauces. And then I also grabbed some Quick Oats. It's not flavored, but if they grab sugar or if they have syrup or something, they can use that. Easy breakfast. They can put bananas in it or something. Yeah, I tried to be really get a variety and try to get stuff that people didn't really usually buy. I did do the macaroni and cheese just because I always buy mac and cheese. And I know a lot of people at the food pantry look for it, so it usually goes pretty fast. I also grabbed tagless tea bags, a whole box of those. And then we got some pancake and waffle mix to include some breakfast option. Actually got a couple of, obviously we already got the oatmeal too, and then we got these a tuna easy skillet since we got tuna fish. So I figured we'd get that too. Now, okay, I want to let you know, I was raised for quite a while in South Carolina, like when I was like 3 months old till I was, younger. I was a kid. And I was taught, by the time I was 4, I knew no good Southerner uses Quick Grits. That being said, I did pick up Quick Grits because it's actually a pretty good brand. It doesn't taste very bad. So if somebody likes grits, it's a good option. But my mom would just be killing me right now. And then I thought about peanut butter. So we grabbed a crunchy and a creamy because, oh, really? You were born in Australia? That's so awesome. I wish I was born somewhere cool. I was just born in Connecticut where it sucks. So I got chunky and creamy peanut butter. I prefer chunky. My husband prefers creamy. So we usually have that fight in our house with two different cans. I know. We each got our own can. And then I got 2 things of grape jelly. Figured I got 2 things of peanut butter, 2 things of jelly. There's so much food, y'all. And to think this is how much weight I've lost. Like all of this food equals that. We got 2 things of ketchup because people need ketchup. And it's not my favorite, but I know some people like it. So we got some yellow mustard. And I think that's everything. Yeah, that is everything we got. It is so much food. Like I'm looking at it and I mean, I really can't even believe how much food this is. Tomorrow I'm going to put a video showing like a little bit in the grocery store. Really didn't want to tape too much in the store. And I have like a big camera. I have a smaller vlogging camera coming, but I did it on like a, what are those things called? A Kickstarter program. It's a guy that lives in the same town my daughter lives in China. And so I ordered the camera he came up with, and it's just been in progress. But they did do the final casting of everything. They had to change some of the layout to make it work better. And they had to tweak the gimbal a little bit. And that one's going to be, supposedly it's like pocket size, so it'll be a lot smaller. But right now I have like a big, can you grab my camera out? I just like have a regular photography camera that I use when I go outdoors. That's not it. It's heavy and it's lunky. Here it is. And this is the camera. It was 99 bucks at Best Buy like a year ago. So it's like, I mean, it's a good camera. It's a Nikon. But what is it? It's a Nikon Coolpix. So it was a $99 camera. Oh, you don't want to go to Connecticut. Yeah, the only good time to go to Connecticut is the fall. Yeah, because if you go like in October in the Northeast, there's beautiful foliage. But people in Connecticut are seriously rude. And I'm seriously not joking. Like it's one of the reasons why I never fit in there is because I can't. I mean, I can be rude, I guess. If I really want to be, I suppose I could be rude. But it's not like a nature to me. It's not like a common nature. Maybe it's because like in the beginning I was raised in South Carolina, so I have always had kind of the more southern tendencies. But yeah, I've been to almost all the states. I think the only states I haven't been to is Idaho, Oregon, California, Washington State. I haven't been to Alaska or Hawaii. Oregon? I said Oregon. Oh. Huh? Well, did you live in Washington? Yeah, I have a friend that lives in Washington, but she's not on any social media anymore because of some stuff that happened. And so I don't get to talk to her anymore, which is really super sad. I've known her since high school. But yeah, I think let me see, it's Oregon, Washington, California, Idaho, Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota. Alaska, Hawaii. I think I've only not been to 8 states. I would sing the state song, but I don't do that. My ex was in the Navy too. Yep. My ex was in the Navy. We were stationed in Georgia. Oh, I haven't been to North Dakota either, so 9 states. Everything else I've been to. But yeah, we were stationed in Kings Bay, Georgia, when my kids were little, and then I moved. Yeah, you were born there. And then I moved back home because he lost his ever-loving mind. and he
I
was.
still yet to regain it.
My son just said still has yet to regain it, which is very true. But yeah, West Coast, yeah. West Coast, I haven't been to anything. Like, part of me wants to go, and part of me, the way the world is right now, I just don't want to go because people are just so crazy over on that side of the country right now, and I don't know why. I don't know. I guess I just don't understand why people in Oregon, Washington, and California are just like, I don't know, just so over the top crazy. And then the rest of the country just seems to be pretty level headed, except for maybe New York. But New York's never been normal. Probably why I like hanging out there. But yeah, I don't know. It's I've never been there. I've been everywhere else except like I've been right on the cusp of going to all those places and just never went on the West Coast. Yeah, Virginia dry dock is always fun. Our boat was built in Connecticut and then it dry docked in Connecticut again. My ex actually launched a sub out of Maine. It was USS Maine he was on, and they had to go to Portsmouth, Maine to launch it, but it was actually built in Connecticut, which was kind of cool. I mean, when I first met him and everything was good before he went stupid. Um, he was going to school in Groton, Connecticut, also known by all Navy guys as Rotten Groton. It seems like if you get stationed East Coast, you stay East Coast, and if you get stationed West Coast, you stay West Coast. Like unless you request a separate duty station for a specific reason. It's almost like they only offer you the same side of the country. It's not like it used to be where you'd like go all over the country just every few years. At least that's what it was when we were there, which was almost 20 years ago. So it's been a while. But
Longer than 20 years. I'm going on 24.
I said about 20 years. You were 3 and 4 when we left Georgia, so yeah, about 20 years. My son tries to look for schematics here. Yeah, exactly. Unless you do special orders, yeah. And one of the guys off my husband's boat actually, when he left he left Maine because he got requested to do duty as a cook for the president. So that was kind of cool. Um, but yeah, it's it's been interesting for sure. You know, just I didn't mind being a Navy wife. I just didn't like other Navy wives because like the first boat he was on, which got decommissioned, and they had to take it up underneath the ice cap and they took it to like Victoria to bring it to Washington to get decommissioned. And yeah, the Illinois boot camp. Yep. But he was on that boat and he decommissioned that boat and then he commissioned Maine. But when he was on the Pargo, it was crazy because I was pregnant with my daughter and I was like 9 months pregnant with her. Like there was no doubt I was pregnant. And somebody had parked in a parking spot that apparently one of the officers' wives thought was her parking spot and like just started screaming, "Whoever's in this spot better move before I key your car," all on lower base. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I can't believe I can't believe I'm marrying a Navy guy. This is crazy. Or was married to. No, I was married to at that point because I got on lower base. But yeah, it was just nuts. And yeah, the other wives were horrible. We lived on base like for a little while. And then I was like, I can't do this anymore. I got off base so fast. I had a neighbor. My son was an infant. He was newborn. And the neighbor across the hall wanted me to watch her daughter all the time. I had 2 kids under the age of 2. Like I didn't have to. I couldn't watch her 4-year-old. Like it wasn't going to happen. And I kept being like, "Listen, I'm sorry, I really can't," because my son wasn't sleeping at all, and my husband was out to sea, and my daughter was a normal 18-month-old or however old she was. And I told her I couldn't watch her daughter, and she got mad at me and called DHR on me and told them I wasn't feeding my kids. Of course, DHR shows up, and of course, I have a pantry full of food because I feed my kids, fed my kids, always will feed my kids as long as they're in my house. And they were like, well, we got this call, so we're going to have to follow up with you. And I'm like, oh, I can't imagine being the foreigner and everybody like just being jerks. That must be horrible. Yeah, I remember one of the officers' wives and I were actually really good friends, but we couldn't let anybody know, so we had to like hang out on the down low. She was a lieutenant's wife, and both of us hated all the Navy wives, so we'd get together like off site, like where nobody would know us, and just sit and complain about all the wives on the boat because we were just like these people are crazy. They're just, I mean, it was such a different lifestyle. I didn't mind the moving and all of that stuff, but I did mind the wives. They were horrific. They were seriously horrific. And then when I left, my husband proved how absolutely, because I kept telling them that he was like violent and stuff like that. And the what's that guy called? The name for the pastor people. It's the same in the army. What do you call them? Yeah, exactly.
Chaplain?
Chaplains.
Yeah, there you go. You know how little I've been around chaplains?
I know. We weren't supposed to get along. Me and the lieutenant's wife, though, we liked each other. Just we didn't like anybody else. But the chaplain, I would go to the chaplain and talk to him about what my husband was doing and whatever, and he would tell me, "Oh yeah, it's just he's very stressed out. You need to be more understanding." And I mean, I even showed him I have a dent in my head that I'll always have in my head from him. Like it's like there, and it was just, and I showed him the dent. I'm like, "This is from him." He's like, "Well, that's you saying it. There's no proof." Blah blah blah. And then we were at a friend's house playing this game, and he just like kept changing the rules because that's just what he was. He wanted to win, and he changed the rules. Oh, you can't do it like that. That's not how the rules go. And he like flipped out because I ended up winning playing by his new rules, and so he like threw the board at my face, and I was like stunned because he'd never done it in front of somebody else. And the next thing I knew, I was on the floor. My friend was on the phone with 911, and then like it seemed like seconds later, he was in handcuffs. And then we were still living on base at that time, and the stupid MPs, because he got arrested, he was taken to the jail there near where we were, and they the MPs picked him up and let him go into the house that we had and like told him, "Oh, you should just break everything and you should just make it a mess and she's got to clean it up and that'll teach her." Oh, it's true though. I don't like those officers' wives that are like that. Yeah. And so the MP just told him he could do whatever he wanted, so he destroyed the house. And I ended up having to come home with two kids and have to wrangle two kids and clean. And it was just horrific. And then back then, the judge told, he went down and talked to the judge, gave the judge $100 cash, and they just dropped the charges, which was great. So then I knew that I wasn't safe, but I couldn't figure out how to get out. But I knew I had to because I was afraid, my kids were there when it happened. And I don't play that game. So yeah, so then I left and my dad helped me out. So it was cool. Yeah, so many officers forget that if it wasn't for the enlisteds doing their jobs, they wouldn't be able to be officers. It's ridiculous. And their wives think they wear their husband's stripes so much. Not all of them. I shouldn't say all of them because I actually have a very pretty painting. It's a watercolor, I think. No, not a watercolor. I don't know. It's a painting that the my ex-husband's ex-chief did from a picture, and it's beautiful. But yeah, they were nice people, but he always remembered where he came from, but a lot of them just don't remember anything. They don't remember. And a lot of the guys who are officers come from money, so they walk around like, "Oh, I come from money, so you're nothing. And you don't make enough money to be qualified to whatever." And it was just frustrating. I don't like people like that in general, so they figure out real quick. Yeah, a lot of them do. A lot of them do. Absolutely. And which is sad because I don't know. I mean, I just think that so often if some of these guys could just realize that, well, first of all, if these women could realize they don't do the work their husbands do, and if the husbands could realize that, yeah, they get the trickle down drama and all that kind of stuff, and the trickle up drama, and so yeah, but they don't deal with anything more than what a mom deals with kids. I mean, it's the same thing. Oh my goodness, yeah, I actually when we lived in Georgia, I worked at Burger King. I was a manager at Burger King. It was lovely. I think I lasted like a month and a half. Um, but because I'm from New England, at that time especially, I hadn't learned how to filter, and I still don't have a filter per se. I mean, I do have a filter in the fact that you know, I take this all out again, right? So I take a picture of all of it. My husband, he was trying to be so helpful. And he was putting all the stuff back in, but I want to take a picture of everything. A friend of mine told me that I should try to hold all the bags. I was like, yeah, that ain't happening. Yeah. But there was a Burger King on the base in Georgia at that time. I don't know if it's still there or any of that, obviously. And actually, when we lived in Georgia, we were sleeping at night, and there was a storm coming through. Yeah, fast orders were very, very important. And a tornado came through, and it was like a quarter mile from our house, and we slept right through it. That was scary. But yeah. And the thing of it is it's like I worked like most of my high school life. I worked at McDonald's, and then when I worked at Burger King, like I realized like half those people just don't even want to do their job at the one that was on base. And I was like the only one that was like running around like a crazy person trying to get things done. And nobody even cared if a customer came in and yelled at them. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm just new and that's why I care. I don't know. And but yeah, no, it was just craziness. Like, oh, I bet West Coast, I bet you got lots of earthquakes. I've never, knock on wood, I've been places where there's been an earthquake, but not one that like you really felt. Like you're like, oh, what was that kind of thing, but not anything that like did anything major. We had one in Connecticut when I lived there, and like one of the ceiling fan things would kind of shook a tiny bit, and then it just stopped. So I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, so it's craziness. But yeah, we've been doing pretty well at our food choices here and stuff, and it's kind of funny because like now I have no idea what we're gonna do for dinner tonight because it's already 8:30, and I'm definitely not trying their chicken at Walmart again. That was horrific. Oh, I can't believe that. But yeah, I don't. I think an earthquake's the only thing I haven't been through, like a major earthquake, like one you can really feel. Like I said, little ones that you kind of see stuff move. Yeah, that I've had. We even get them down here in Southern Alabama. We've gotten a few, I guess, in the last couple months, but I never noticed them. If I did, I blocked it out, I guess. But yeah, no, I think because I mean, when I lived in Colorado, I went to Walmart one day. I went to Walmart that one day, and there was a tornado, and literally, like, I ran inside the Walmart, not even realizing it was a tornado. Everyone was like looking at me weird, and when I run inside, everyone's like, hurry up!" And I'm screaming at me. I'm like, "What?" And I turn around and like you can see the tornado. It's like right there, and so I like pushed us all in the back, and this woman came in. She had run inside from the tornado. She had blood everywhere. It was, oh my gosh, it was so scary. I don't like tornadoes at all. I've been through more hurricanes than I can count because I grew up. Connecticut used to get hit like every other year, really good. And I lived in where we lived in Georgia, we didn't get hit. And here in Alabama, where we are, it's like it almost goes around us because it either goes towards Pensacola or it goes towards Mississippi. They don't seem to hit like the greater Mobile area, so that's kind of a good thing, I guess. But we were in Florida on vacation when one was coming. And that was disappointing because we paid for a whole week at our time. We used up a whole week of our timeshare, and we had to leave. What, 4 days in, 3 days in? Yeah, like 3 or 4 days in, we had to leave. So that was disappointing. And it took us like what normally takes us 7 hours to get home took us like 12, which was not good. And at one point, I was like, why don't we just park in a truck stop and just sleep? Traffic's got to end at some point. But we just kept going, so it was whatever. But hurricanes don't really bother me that much. Mainly because you could tell by the number what they're going to be like. Like there was one coming, they said it was a 2. I told my husband, I said, don't worry about it, we're not going anywhere. And then they start talking like 4, high 3 or a 4. That's when I start thinking about worrying. Before that, I don't really worry about it. And we've got so much water and food, and we've got candles, and we've got a pretty good stash of, we could probably go a little while without electricity. So I don't get too worried about it. And we've got like a grill we can use with charcoal. We've got extra charcoal and stuff. So just ruin a couple pots, put them on top of the charcoal grill's fine. Cook our food, that kind of thing. But no, I mean, overall, I think we do pretty good at prepping for any kind of emergency. We might be able to last a month in case of zombie apocalypse. The basics. You got to worry about the big things like zombie apocalypses. I had a friend ask the other day, how long would you last in a zombie apocalypse? I'm like, forever, I have no brain. But yeah, at some point I'll have to videotape my friend, the rooster. I think it's because in the morning when my husband leaves for work, and I make my videos a lot right after he goes to work. And oh yeah, Hurricane Dennis, yeah. The lights on inside the house when he leaves, and I think the rooster just comes over to the light and is like, "Oh, the light's on, so I can talk to you now." And he just gets obnoxious. I mean, it was light out when I was doing that video this morning, but he's just a jerk. No, he was crowing. He just kept crowing and crowing and crowing, and he was almost changed into dinner. I'm telling you, man. Right now it's pouring. We started out with a pretty good thunderstorm, but now it's just raining. So it's not too bad. But when we went to the grocery store, I was like, just pull up, it's raining. So we loaded everything in. But I want to make sure we have it because Saturday the postal people are coming to pick up the food because they're doing the food drive. And I was like, you know what, we'll just do it to the post office one. Let them deal with delivering 75 pounds of food. Yeah, dogs are weird when it comes to stuff like earthquakes and stuff. It's like, it's like they know. They've proven they somehow know. They just haven't figured out how or that kind of thing. So that's always a good thing to have a pet. I'm unfortunately allergic, and we even found a rescue that specializes in the kind of dogs I can get. And they want, like, what was it, $500 for that one dog? And it's like an older dog. And I was like, oh, no, not $500 for a dog I have to put medical stuff into, like, soon. And then our shelters, they don't have a waiting list of people who need hypoallergenic dogs. They actually have rescues that will pick them up. And one of the rescues they have for one of the kind of dogs we can get actually sends them back to Illinois where he's from. So it's kind of crazy. Super crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna look. When I did my live last week, Michelle was on and she was saying, talking about keto and stuff. And I think I'm gonna look into keto. I've been doing really well with paleo. Because my PCOS gives me like issues. Oh, I bet you they desperately want outside, yeah, to get out of the pressure, probably. Dogs are so sensitive to pressure, and I can only assume that during an earthquake it's gotta create some sort of pressure. Probably. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but I'm not a scientist by any means. I like to pretend I am sometimes, but I'm really not. So it's whatever. Did you want to take a picture of it, Fred?
That smells like good. Pull down the bag.
But I wish we had a way to like tear it down so you get a good picture of everything together, but probably have to do multiple pictures, and that's okay. Well, yeah, just be an artiste. My husband's trying to figure out how to get pictures of all the food we bought so I can put it in the video tomorrow. Menopause. Yeah, I haven't. I'm not sure if I've started or not yet. My mom still hasn't had menopause, and she's, let me see, gonna be 60 this year? Or she was 61? I don't want to get it wrong because that could be death for me.
I thought it was 29 for all y'all.
Yeah.
29, 29.
Well, I mean, I'm still 29, but it's whatever. Okay, so let me see. I'll be 61 this year. Technically, legally, I'm 44. I'm 45 this year, but I stay at 29. I have what do they call that? I'm trans age. I stopped aging at 29. I guess it's a new word for it. I just call it I refuse to age. I still feel 29, so I'm not getting any older. But unfortunately, my body is, so it's one of those things. But so I tell everybody I'm 29, and some people believe it, which is hysterical. Dude, minor heart attacks. My husband drops a can. But it's funny though because people are always like, "Oh, your kids are how old? I can't believe you're that old." Well, I dye my hair, so I got to do that again. So my roots are coming out. So my hair's dyed. I guess I can understand I don't have gray hair, so I don't think that. But I've always been like, no, I really am old enough to have kids that age. And everyone's like, oh, I can't believe that. And I'm like, no, really, I do. I have kids that age. They're mine. I gave birth to them. I remember being there, like, and I just think it's because I'm bigger, and so my skin is like, I don't know, not wrinkly because it's all fat, but it'll stop eventually. But then I'll just tell my husband time to save up for a facelift because he's ignoring that comment. So, but I don't know. I'm just interested to see what my face skin is gonna do when I lose weight. I'm kind of hoping it'll tighten up. I do have a firming lotion. I'm hoping that'll help. And I'm gonna get some of that décolleté stuff that's supposed to help with like this area to tighten and firm it. I'm hoping it'll work because I seriously just want to not have all kinds of excess weird hangy skin. Not on my face, not on visible parts, like my stomach, yeah, my legs, yeah. If it's bad enough where it bothers me, I'll probably look into surgery. But I'm a long way from that, so. But I know a lot of people do have that issue after losing a significant amount of weight. And I'm almost my 83.6 pounds now, which is kind of back to where I was before I got sick, before I got medicine and everything. But that's awesome. When I was in college, I wasn't 21, and I used to go to this liquor store and buy liquor for everybody all the time. And I didn't drink. I've never been a drinker. And when I turned 21, they finally carded me. And they're like, wait a minute. I was like, whoops. No, use the camera. Sorry. Like video it, kind of like get a good video of everything. And then just snaps pictures. Yeah, so they just they finally carded me after I was actually 21. And they couldn't do anything about it because I'd already been in a few times. Multiple times. That's awesome. Hey, you know what? I tell everybody, a pound is better than nothing because, I got seriously lucky in that I just have, with having one of my medical issues diagnosed, and finding out that there's a treatment for it has helped. And then add on to that the fact that I have been working my tail off. I do the DDP yoga program, and I basically do. That's fine. I basically just leave them for now. I basically do like the long workout in the morning, and then I'll do like 3 5-minute workouts. And I've been doing chair only, but now it's really encouraging me to try to do chair to standing. See, like the only reason I think it's 21 in America is because our teenagers and our young adults are just not mature, in any way, shape, or form. And it's just, I don't know. There's this culture of drinking that's just not healthy here. And I don't know why. I don't know why. It's probably one of the reasons why I don't drink. It's really funny though because I don't really like alcohol at all. I have to like really be in the mood for it. I'm very specific on what I do and don't like. And and so I just really just don't drink. I'm not a fan of wine. I don't like most fruit drinks. I like mudslides and I like whiskey, and that's like about it. That's about all I like is mudslides and whiskey. And yeah, so I mean those are the only two things I ever really drank in my life. And if I drink beer, I'm very specific on beer. There's only like one or two brands I even will think about drinking. And if they don't have it, I just don't have it. But like when I was doing my genealogy, I figured out that like my family is like alcoholics on both sides going way back. So I think it's so funny though, because a lot of people they say, oh, if you have alcoholism in your family, you're more likely to be an alcoholic. And I'm like, well, then explain me because I'm not interested in alcohol at all. So it's just strange. But no, I don't know. I mean, I had friends in high school who used to drink a lot. I never wanted to go to the parties. Mainly because the stories I heard afterwards were no. Um, the one time I went to a party, I wasn't drinking and the cop let me go. So yes, all the parties back where I grew up, because it's a small town, you couldn't hide the parties. The cops knew that it was there. They'd let you party for a short long time and then raid it. It was just the way it was. So super fun times. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't go. And then my graduation, just for graduation, one of the parents threw a party and got a keg. And like I had to drive home 2 friends that were totally plastered. It was not fun. Yeah, my aunt has MS and she actually just started doing the bed workout for DDP yoga. I should find my desk, see if I have bed workout. If I have the bed workout, I'll message you. Because I can mail you that disc. The bed workout is really helpful. And it might just help you a little bit. But we have a lot of people who are on the webpage for DDP yoga who have MS, and there's some that have fibromyalgia, and a lot of them do it. And they just really have found it being very helpful for them. Just because it's not typical yoga. It uses like your own muscle tension to do the workout, so it's super helpful. Oh, you don't? Yeah, I usually play mine like either on my laptop or I have the app on my phone for the yoga program. So it's I mean it's good. I like it. When I fell a while ago, um we I did the workout for the bed for a few days because I'm just like I don't have I was in so much pain with my back. There was just no way I could do it, even a sitting workout. So I did a lay down workout for a couple times, and that was all right. But I've been encouraged with some people on the group to go ahead and try like the standing workout or try to do some floor work. But getting up and down off the floor is like nearly impossible still. So I've done it more. And today I actually made it to the whole grocery store. We were there for what, an hour and a half? Yeah, I walked around the grocery store for an hour and a half without my scooter.
Close to 2 hours.
Oh, yeah. Vision is, it's why people take vision for granted. And then when you have issues with it, it just sucks because it's just everyone else around you just takes it for granted. If I keep pull off the sock, take my footage. But yeah, my friend has a program on her phone that reads everything to her because of her vision. And then I noticed there's a girl on YouTube, Molly Burke, who has a disorder where I think all she can see now is shadows sometimes. And she uses the same kind of program where it like reads everything to her off of her phone. She's on YouTube. She's actually very interesting to watch. But yeah, I think for me it's just been like such a pain to try to figure out the right like pattern that's going to work for me because I've tried for years. I've even had a doctor put a scope down my throat because he thought maybe I had a mass in my stomach because I don't eat a lot. And part of my problem was I wasn't eating enough calories. But I've gotten somewhat better, although today I haven't. Are you sub to Molly? I love Molly. She's amazing. Like, she's one of my favorite YouTubers. I think she's just like so inspiring that, and it's like, it's not because she's blind, it's her attitude in general. Like, whether she's blind or not, her attitude's amazing. And I would sub her tomorrow even if she could see. Like, it doesn't even matter. Like, she's amazing. I don't have, I mean, I subscribe to a few YouTubers. I don't do a whole bunch. I have a bunch that I follow, but I don't actually watch a lot of them. Just because I don't have time. I just, um, if I'm kind of bored, I'll generally actually look for like the Reddit posts. So I like to have the r/entitled parents. And then, I watch those and I think, man, these people are so horrible. And then we went to get our phones. We had AT&T phones. Like, our phones were services were through AT&T. And I've had AT&T phone service, my cell phone, for what? 10 years, almost 11 years. And we got a Cricket in town. And I know they're technically AT&T, but they're like half the price. So we went down to go switch over our phones. And where was I going with that? I don't even remember. Oh yeah, that dude. So we walk in. There's a woman being helped, and there's these two women that have two little infants like sitting there, and the infants are really sweet. They're really in good moods. They're playing, super cute babies. They were not the problem. So then we were there, and then another lady came in after us. So there's like four groups of the store waiting to like get taken care of. This dude walks in, walks past all of us, sits down, says to the woman, I called earlier about a phone. She has to walk away from the people she's already helping. Well, actually, no. She finished up with the first person when he walked in and made him wait. When the second person went to get helped, he kept interrupting her and asking her to come help him. So then he tells her he wants a certain phone. So she goes and gets it. He says, that's not the right phone. It's not big enough. So he's like, no, I want this one. He tells her exactly what brand it is. He walks over to the phone, says the name, reads the card, tells her he wants that phone and he wants it for $129.99. And she's like, well, because you already have service and blah, blah, blah. It's not that price. That's only for people who are new and da, da, da. And he was like, well, I want it for that price. And so then there was some other conversation I didn't hear. So then he's like, when she brings up that phone, she activates that phone. After she already got that phone activated, he's like, oh, I didn't want that phone. I wanted the other phone. I told you I wanted the other phone. And then he's mad because she has to back out and it's not going to credit his account right away. And so he's throwing a fit about how she's not helping him and she did it wrong and blah, blah, blah. And he's like flipping out on her when he changed his mind 3 times very clearly of what phone he wanted. And he cut people. And I was just like, dude, you are not that special. Like, there is nothing that special about you. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then I had a couple weeks ago, I think I talked about on the channel, I had a friend who I had told that my daughter's flying home from China for like 2 or 3 weeks. And my friend had said something about, oh, you guys are going to go to Florida. Yeah, I don't like idiots. Idiots are not my friends. Oh, I mean, I have some friends who are idiots, but not that kind of idiot. But, and they call me an idiot too, so it's cool. They know who they are, and I know who I am to them, which I am an idiot to them. It's okay. But yeah, so needless to say, so my friend, I told her we were going to Disney with my daughter this summer, but that my husband and I were going to go back in October. And she was like, oh, my kids, I've never taken my kids to Disney, and her kids like teenagers. And I was like, well, we go in October, maybe you can go down and share the hotel. Because we have a timeshare, it's like a 2-bedroom, so we won't be using one of the bedrooms then. And I had said something about when my daughter was flying in and we were going to Disney. She had her husband take off the week in July. And then messages me and was like, oh, my husband took time off from work. I'm like, for what? Because I told her when I found out the time in October, I would let her know. And I got well, we decided July was a better time. Yeah, well, I don't have room in the timeshare in July. And I was just like, well, and I've been friends with her for like 30 years. And now I'm like, I can't even talk to her because I'm like, I cannot believe you just decided you were going to use my timeshare. Right. As it is, one of my daughter's friends is going to be in Florida at the same time. And I said, if he wanted to stay at the timeshare for a few days so they could hang out, he could. So now even the couch is gone. Like, there's There's no room at the end. And then now in October when we go, we might have an exchange student, hopefully. So yeah, that's when we always switched to Cricket. Is AT&T? We only had what, 10 megabytes or 20 a month?
Oh, 10.
Yeah, we have 10 megabytes of data a month for 2 people to use, which is fine usually, except my husband likes to do Pokemon Go, so he uses up a lot of that data. And yeah, so Cricket is unlimited, so we switched to them and we saved like $60 a month, no brainer. And it's an AT&T line, so it's like it's not, it's whatever. So I was pretty excited to get Cricket because I like Cricket. It's cheap, but it works. That's all that matters. So yeah, I like Florida, except I haven't quite figured out why when you drive from Alabama and you go across the Florida state line, why you're instantly engulfed in, what's that stuff called? Humidity.
It's like there's a barrier.
It's like there's like this barrier around Florida that just holds all the humidity. Like literally, we drive over the line, it's like, Alabama, boom, Florida. There, it's humid. And then I look like a crazy curly headed llama because I've got natural curly hair that decides some of it wants to curl, some of it doesn't. So I just look crazy. Can I help you? I'm gonna turn this so people can see you in your Pikachu shirt.
Yeah, I ain't ashamed.
Does it, T-Mobile? Down here where we are, I don't think T-Mobile has a very good signal. It might by the water, but like here in my town, AT&T is like the only cell phone service that you can get in my town.
I go over at Walmart. I had some little girl freaking out over my shirt because I have Pikachu on it.
You're crazy.
It's just a shirt.
It's funny. I don't know if it's, I guess it's everybody, but it's like whatever kind of hair you get is not the kind you would have chosen. But probably if you had the other hair, you probably wouldn't choose that either. Because my hair is super, super thick. It's super curly. Although, okay, we are the only person who likes your hair. But you're also a dude. I'm talking about women. My hair is super thick. When people go to cut my hair, they're like, oh, you don't have that much hair. And they start cutting, like, oh my God, you have so much hair. I'm like, I told you. And it shrinks when it dries, and it sometimes curls, it's sometimes wavy, it's sometimes straight. It can never decide what my hair is bipolar for sure. It's just crazy. But
I like my hair because it gets me in a lot.
Anyhow, my son's talking crazy talk now. Well, my son is starving to death, so I gotta figure out something for dinner. Yeah, my hair can be, it's turned bed spring before when the humidity's been just right. Like I've got myself like a little afro. I don't know if you've seen, I have a couple videos on my DNA stuff that I did, and I am such a mutt. But I'm pretty sure that my hair comes from either my African background, my Turkish background, or my Jewish background. One of the three, possibly all of them. Maybe my Greek as well. It's crazy how curly my hair can get. There's pictures of me when I was little, where little I just have like this big head of just curls. My hair is like bigger than my face. But well, I'm gonna go try to figure out something to feed my family since Walmart didn't want to cook its chicken the rest of the way like it was supposed to. Not sure what we're gonna cook now because I didn't pull anything out because hashtag figured I had time to get something else different to eat quickly before I went live. And my son's playing with a dinner torch now, so he's definitely getting frustrated. So I am going to get off of here. I really thank you for joining me tonight. It was awesome talking to you. And I do this every week on Thursdays. I'm probably going to pick up another night for lives as well. I just haven't decided what night yet. The only day I don't do anything is Sundays.
Tuesday.
My husband. No, that is not my husband. That would be illegal in every state. My son says Tuesday. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna go feed them so they can stop. Oh, he took apart that stupid puzzle. Yeah, they're starting to, the natives getting restless. So I will see you later. See you guys later. Bye.